welcome back. I am Coach Kira. We're here with another relationship topic. And so today I wanted to come to you guys with a video that should have been completed a long time ago. And that is dating a hood guy. Now, if you have been following me for some time, you know I already did a video about dating a hood chick. And that was done like maybe a couple years ago. So now today I am presenting this video for those of you who have struggles with trying to understand this type of guy and not understanding the way he presents his love or expresses himself. So I kind of want to break it all down for you just to make it sort of make sense for you, so you have a better idea of what type of guy you really are dealing with, okay? All right, so if you are dating a hood type, and when I say hood, guys, I'm talking about like hood, living in an environment that is always critical to one's survival. Everyday survival is his milieu. And it's been like that since a very early age. So yes, living in an environment to where it's almost hard to live in, or maybe not to that extent, but it's hard enough. And the reason why it is so challenging to date such an individual, and I've heard some of my homegirls say, I don't understand why he doesn't respond to me emotionally or physically. There's a lacking. There's a great deal of lacking there. And well, for one reason, and about to break that down for you, it's the upbringing, and the other reason is because, well, when you live in that lifestyle, that game, you're dating an adult boy, there are certain behaviors that you're going to have to tolerate, because this is one person that's not willing to alter his behavior and his way of living for any female. But to go back to why he became this way in the first place is, well, you kind of have to understand that typically, more so than likely, this hood guy was brought up in a single parent home, albeit by his father or mother, or perhaps he had both his parents there, but at such a young age may have been presented with a great deal of responsibilities, looking after the other kids, or having to prepare their meals while one of the parents are away at work, having to do grown up type things, you understand? So having to have that burden placed upon him at such an early age, throughout the remainder of his adolescent and into his young teen years, having that level of responsibility placed upon you and not being able to endure a childlike lifestyle or experience, not like one where in another home that doesn't live in a rougher neighborhood, where they have sit downs, they talk about things, what do you want to be when you grow up, they talk about all sorts of things that enlightens a child's mind. Whereas with this guy, what they're talking about, what he's being presented with is, well, remember to be home 20 minutes before it gets dark, or make sure you have all the doors locked, or, don't walk with your money in your hand, those sorts of, that sort of advice and just rhetoric that a child should never really have to endure, but that's the hand he has been dealt, okay? So again, survival becomes a daily milieu for this type of person at a young age. Okay, so growing up, when he grows up, he may have been lacking love, affection, and attention. And so now you've met this guy. And most of these hood types, from what I know personally, they like a certain type, and she has to be loyal. And there's a reason for that, and I'll touch on that shortly. But he wants you to be loyal, if nothing else. But what typically happens is they get a girl who latches onto them, either as like territorial or possessive, Whereas this guy is out. He's there one minute and literally gone the next. QT doesn't come very often, and when it does, it's short lived. You find yourself chasing this guy. Why is that? Well, you have to realize again, he's lacking. And even if he had both parents, they may not have shown a great deal of affection, attention, recognizing him, giving him the praise that he needs. So when you take a young man living in a society to where influence is everything, how you appear is everything, so he has to portray himself in a certain manner. Now, granted, there are those who try to pull themselves away from this lifestyle, the environment, trying to not become a product of, you understand? And by focusing on their future and what they can do to get up out of this situation. But that's risky. And the reason why that is risky is because, well, if you're not a part of the hood, the fellas, whatever, well, then you're goofy. You're one of those goofy types that we have to watch. Because for all we know, you could be a possible snitch. That's risky. Kind of like in the movie Boys in the Hood, where, they were like the good guys. And look what happened. Gunned down for something that was just probably so minuscule. It was probably over nothing. And that's the kind of hate you have to deal with in those sorts of neighborhoods, So you're either going to conform yourself to be one certain type, to be hardened, to try not to soften yourself with love. And see, that's where that pullback comes from that you may experience. Being emotionally withdrawn. And it's not only because he may not have received that, because even if you don't receive it, most people know how to give it still. But no, he's trying to present himself with a hard exterior for whomever on the outside. And when he comes into you, it's kind of hard to shut that down. All right. Furthermore, you have to think about where his mind is. Like, just being completely overwhelmed on a daily basis with just trying to survive and not having that peace. Can you imagine just growing up and not having any peace, like mentally in your environment? And then he comes home to you, and then it's probably a whole lot of this, and you haven't done this, and yada, yada, yada. Like, more than likely, it puts him into a shell. And he clowns up, he closes up. He's not going to give you that. Though you may give him the recognition and attention or whatever that he may desire, but even still, with this certain type of guy, that may not ever be enough, or it may just be a bit redundant, to say the least. Like, he's gonna rock with you for as long as you're rocking with him. You're being as loyal as you can be, and then that's just what it is. But the reality of it is this is a guy who will always have something to prove to others. Meaning, because of the lifestyle, you have to have multiple females. So you're the main, okay, you're the entree, and of course, well, somewhere up the block, he has mashed potatoes and sweet peas. And don't be surprised if there's a little dessert out in the suburbs. But he's going to leave dessert where she is because, well, he's not on that level, and there may be some esteem issues and, a lack of confidence of trying to be with someone of such a caliber. All right. So he's going to use her, she's feeling a hardcore roughneck, dope boy type of guy, hood dude. She's feeling that guy, but he's not going to let her, suck him in to where he's not comfortable. So Dessert's going to stay where she is, and he'll use her for whatever he can later on. Now, mashed potatoes and sweet peas, okay, so they're there in his life for that whole, oh, you're this, you're fine, da-da-da-da-da, just to get that extra, that added attention that he needs, that recognition, to feel like he's someone, to feel worthy just being in this. Because I guarantee you, more so than likely, the esteem is so low, and whatever he's presenting is a mere front, smoke and mirrors. And this is why you may say, well, you're not man enough, you're not a real dude, you're not this, da 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 da. And that's probably where that's stemming from. He already may feel that way. And which is why he may not be able to measure up to what it is that you need from him. It's because he's lacking confidence, lacking esteem, maybe afraid. I'm sure he's afraid on a daily basis of pretty much everything that life is throwing at him. So you kind of have to understand the mindset of this person. Okay. And I've had some of my friends, they just go crazy over these types of guys. I'm like, come on, like, you know, he is a hood dude. He's only going to give you so much. And the only reason he's going to give you so much is because you don't even know your worth. You don't even know that you deserve better. Though you see the potential in him and you're non-judgmental, and that's good, that's fine. But from his perspective, he may not understand why in the hell would you want to be with someone with me, like me, especially if I'm putting you in compromising situations. Like if you're with me, we get stopped. You know what I'm saying? You're subject to be an accessory. So why subject yourself to that? And see, this is what they're thinking. Like, don't you want better? Don't you feel like you deserve better? Why come after me? I'm not going to devote myself to you 100%. And those that do, I really commend them on that, especially the ones who stay in their relationships after a child is born. See, the worst thing that you can do, especially with this type of guy, and I really hate to say that, is to have a child from them. In the words of Funky Dineva, if you want to get rid of a man, you want a man to run away from you, have a baby by him. Because see, now this type of guy is wondering, am I going to be a good father? Am I even going to live long enough to see my son or daughter reach their 18th birthday? Will I be able to provide for them? It's a whole lot of questions going through their mind, and they're probably scared as hell. So the way they may react is just by being reckless, having reckless behavior, and that's just nervous energy. So you kind of have to understand the way they think, the way they feel, the way they maneuver in order to have a better situation with your person. And some of them are so, have been so ensconced by what it is that they've experienced in life, traumas, seen shootings, deaths, all sorts of things. So you have to take all of that into account to why your hood guy is the way that he is. Now, I'm not defending them. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you a perspective from where, kind of like stepping in his shoes right now, so you can see vividly what it is that he experiences on a daily basis. And why your relationship with this guy, even if you've been with this guy for years, you're not going to get very much, okay? And it's going to be hard for him to get out of that situation. Even when they're trying to get out, that's risky. Trying to leave your hood, it's kind of risky. Like the hood, the kind of hood that you have to know somebody to ride into if you don't live there. Yes, there are those. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. It's really up to you to determine how loyal you want to be to this guy. Because when you are that loyal, when the ish hits the fan and everything goes dark and now he's behind bars, you're going to be that same loyal person that he has been waiting to have that support from, along with mashed potatoes and sweet dessert too. Hell, she could probably send him thousands commissary. Yeah, he needs that support system, and your loyalty is going to really matter most when he gets locked up. So yeah, it's really up to you to determine if you still need to have this type of person as like a serious committed partner. They're really only committed to themselves and their survival. And the day and the minute that you accept and understand that, I'm more so than likely going to say that you will make wiser choices going forward. Okay? Am I missing anything? So yeah, that's that. Relationship with the hood dude, you know, is you're not, and kudos to those, if a hood guy come across this video, kudos to you if you are faithful and you are loyal to your girl or your boo, your lover, whomever, and you take care of your kids. That's admirable. Kudos to you. Okay. However, if you have mashed potatoes and sweet potato, you know those are replaceable. You might switch those out every now and then with French fries, coleslaw, whatever. You got those going for you, but I mean, come on now. You got your main. She's rocking for you. She's your backbone. She's your support. And if she isn't, well then, okay. All right, guys. I think I'm finished for now. Let me know what you think. If you need consultation, I'm right here for you. All my information will be linked down below. But I thank you so much again. Until next time.